Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here, and today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Pokémon FireRed. Last time we checked out Brock's speech, what else there was to see at the Pewter gym. Then we tried to leave the city, but got stopped by Professor Oak's helper, because he gave us the running shoes, and then we ran out of time, so funny enough. But yeah, so first and foremost, we'll check what he had to say, what there was to say about the running shoes, and after that, yeah, we'll properly start playing the game again, and actually leave the city this time, and so see a new route. Yeah, without further ado, let's start. Yeah, with the video here. Yeah, pretty sure we ended with the Owatashi Shimasu Dozo. So yeah, we are starting here with the Red wa running shoes o uketotta. Yeah, so first and foremost, the usual red wa, so yeah. As for red, wa returns had a topic particle. Running shoes, so yeah, from English. Wonder if I straight up find it in the dictionary to see to check the accent. Okay, found also running shoes. Let's see if we also have the accent. Okay, of that. Yeah, as expected, running. Okay, actually, this isn't expected. Good thing I checked also running on its own, because it's one of those words from English that become unaccented in Japanese, so be careful about that. Well, yeah, shoes, accented, like shoes in English, so on the first more on the shoe. And then, even more so considering the accent of the first word being unaccented, but most likely regardless, as we have seen, with other words, becomes a compound, running shoes. We keep the accent of the second word, part of the compound, so on the shoe. Running shoes. Then we have the object particle o, written as one, pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. And then last but not least, we have the verb uketotta. You might already remember it's a compound verb. You might remember the verbs that it's composed of, because we have seen them before, I think, also in this very series. Ukeru should be accented, if I recall correctly. Means to receive. And various extended meanings, but yeah, that's the fundamental one. Accented, yes. Ru verb and verb, so we can drop the ru to make the conjugative form. In this case, to attach the second verb part of the compound. Toru. Yeah, that one is the usual toru. This is the one with the most common kanji for it, because yeah, it's in the meaning is to take in general, not specifically to take photos like in Pokemon Snap. Accented on its own, other various extended meanings. So yeah, this uketoru means to receive, literally to receive and take. But yeah, you could say technically to receive, to get, to accept. So yeah, you receive something and take it. But yeah, so what's worth mentioning, as we've seen, luckily, hopefully most but we have seen many examples of it. These compound verbs keep the accent of the second verb part of the compound. Unfortunately, there are some that change it. Usually they become unaccented when they should be accented. Unfortunately, this is one of them. So yeah, uketoru, unaccented, be careful. U verb, colon verb. So we have to follow the rules to make that a form. Just like that a form, they're conjugated in the same way apart from the vowel. It's one of those in ru, so originally we simply changed the u into i to make the conjugative form and then attach the ta, uketo ri ta. But then most likely if uketor ta, difficult to pronounce, becomes double consonant ta, uketotta. And yeah, ta form, so past form of the verb in plain speech. So yeah, simply here is saying, as for red, he received, literally received and took the running shoes. Of course, in Japanese there isn't the article, but we know we're talking about these specific running shoes, so yeah, then we can add it in English, but yeah, not an issue of Japanese, it's a matter of translation then. But yeah, so we can continue. And yeah, funny enough, considering the kind of they are a particular item technically. Here it says, Reddo wa running shoes ni haki kaeta. Yeah, first and foremost, again, Reddo wa is for red. Running shoes ni. Here we have the particle ni, to, into. We'll see because of the following verb, which is Hakikaeru. I think I should find it. Yeah, unsurprisingly, I've found it also in the dictionary. But yeah, another compound verb. Kaeru, I can already mention, since it's the verb we already know. Yeah, this is the one, unaccented one, particularly with the kanji. That means specifically to replace. In general, kairu, these verbs with kairu and accent mean to change. This one with this kanji would be to replace more specifically. Unsurprisingly, because yeah, the first verb, on the other hand, is haku. We'll check its accent, but haku means to put on a lower body piece of clothing. So yeah, for example, pants, skirt, and also footwear, like in our case here. Yeah, unfortunately, and this makes it more difficult, Japanese has specific verbs depending on the part of the body you put clothes on. Yeah, but this is the one. This is one of the most common ones because yeah, it's for the lower body clothing in general. Luckily, unaccented on its own. Okay, haku. Verb, verb, so that, yeah, then we can simply change it into it, the u into e to make the conjugative form, and then attach the second verb part of the compound. Kaeru, aru verb is some verb, so also haki kaeru. We can simply drop the ru to make the conjugative form, and then attach the ta again to make the past form of the verb. Haki kaeru becomes accented actually, so be careful. Another one of these, unfortunately. The other way around in this case, but yeah. Yeah, literally means to put on, replacing, to put on lower body clothing, of course, consider the verb. Replacing what you had on. Cioè, to change a lower body clothing more in general. More simply. So here is saying, as for Red, he changed into the running shoes. So you can see why we use the particle ni. Usually found this particle with verbs like kaeru. Also in general, not just this one. Okay, then we have this is the next part. As you might have noticed, first we had the usual text box. This is the usual one, while the aid was Professor Ock's helper, assistant, talk to us, the usual messages about what our actions, and then it switches to this one, and we start getting instructions. We see that actually there's more to it, why we get this changed text box at the end. First and foremost, here it says, Hiroi tokoro de bibotan o osuto hayaku. Oops, sorry, I didn't put it. Okay, no, actually, here it is straight up for the instruction. I was thinking of something else later, but no. Then it goes back to the usual text box, I think. Well, we have seen it, but I think also to the end then. But we'll see. Here it says, Hiroi tokoro de, as mentioned. I didn't finish to read it. Hayaku hashiremasu. Yeah, could guess it even without it completed based on the meaning. First and foremost, we have Hiroi. Don't remember if we've seen it in this very series. It's a adjective that means large, well, better, actually. Vast, wide, spacious. Accented. The adjective, so then we can immediately put the noun it modifies. Tokoro. An accent, we have seen it before. Think also in this series, but place, spot, scene, site, and so on. One of the fundamental word nowadays for place in Japanese. Well, there are more. This is of strictly Japanese origin. Quite used. Then we have the particle de, which means in at with most verbs. With verbs of staying, we use ni. Here de because of the verb at the end. Then we have bi, botan. We have already seen botan, one of the unaccented words. Actually not from English, and that's why it's slightly different, even though it's still pretty similar to button. This is actually from Portuguese botão, and it's unaccented. Cioè, the B button, object particle O. Osu, unaccented, we've seen it before, the typical verb found means to push. Both simply to push, to shove, and so on, to thrust, but also to push as in to press down, so actually to push a button also. Quite an important verb for video games. And unsurprising, we've already found it a lot in games, not just this one. an accent as mentioned. After it we have to. In this case, it's the one of the forms of the conditional. Can also have a temporal meaning if, when, like in English, similar to English. This is the closest one to the zero conditional. So in this case, perfect, for example, with buttons, because if you press or when you press the button, something inevitably happens. You can perfect example of the zero conditional. And then after that, we have Hayaku from Hayai. Not the one we have studied, it's kanji, because that one is more used, not always, especially not in compounds, but it's on its own is used usually for early. This is the one that means faster, quick, and so on. E adjective, so we can drop the E, add the ku to make, well, technically it's the continuative form of the verb, to make actually the corresponding adverb. The accent also moves on the third to last mora, so hayaku, instead of staying on the second to last mora, like E adjectives and also verbs, as you have seen, when they are accented. But hayaku, quickly. And then we have the verb hashiremasa. Hashiru means to run. So unsurprisingly, as soon as I started seeing hashi, even without the rest of the sentence, I knew that it was that. And also considered the hayaku before it and so on. Hashiru, accented, means to run. The fundamental meaning, there are extended ones. Verb, golden verb. So we can change the u into by the way, notice that hashiru. It's actually, as I mentioned, a u verb, golden verb. So while usually verbs in iru and eru are ru verbs, instant verbs, there are some exceptions. There are some verbs in iru and eru that are actually u verb, golden verb. You have to remember these exceptions, or if you can find them conjugated already, like in this case, then you immediately can. Here not exactly because of the potential contraction of this form for ru verbs, it's some verbs. In other cases, it's clear. For example, when we have the te form, then it's immediately recognizable. Hashite would be in this case, so with the doubling of the following consonant instead of simply attaching te. We can change the u into e, and then technically add ru. Here can be seen because of further conjugation to make the potential form of the verb. So can, run. And the further conjugation, potential forms of verbs are ru verbs, Italian verbs. So then we can simply drop the ru to make the conjugative form. In this case, to add the auxiliary verb mas. So technically speaking, would be another compound. But this auxiliary verb is used to make the polite form of the verb. We are in polite speech in this case. The translation is you can quickly run if you press the B button in at wide spaces. The specification there, the wide spaces, is because it can be used, for example, inside a Pokémon Center, as we'll eventually see. We got the explanation of them. There's more to it, and that's why, first and foremost, there's simply this. the assistant says, では、私は研究所に戻ります。Yeah, first and foremost, the usual では. Well then, literally, we have the, which is the form of the copula, cioè being that, being, implied that case, technically the usual, but after that we also have the topic particle wa. When we add have the topic particle wa after the form of a verb, we have the meaning, well, we can technically keep the meaning of the topic particle, and so you can see why it has this usage. So yeah, literally, as for that being the case, we could say by adapting it, but it's still close. It becomes an if, as in, if that's the case. Oh yeah, so we have this. The accent, by the way, of this dewa is on the day itself. So yeah, actually the copula itself is accented, unless the word is already accented and then we don't have it. But yeah, with it can be heard here because of the additional wa. Yeah, so dewa becomes accented, high, low. Also, by the way, contracted dewa into ja. But yeah, here, as a conjunction, like in this case at the start of a sentence, we can find it, as we can see here, extended without the contraction. Then we have watashi wa. Watashi, the fundamental way to say I in Japanese, first person singular pronoun, comes from watashi, the u barely, of the ku barely heard if at all because it's written in voice consonants. That's the most formal. This one is slightly formal, but yeah, it's the fundamental one nowadays, unaccented. And then we have the topic particle again, so yeah. Well then, as for me, and then it continues, with kenkyujo, and yeah, this we have seen already, it's the term for research, literally, place. So yeah, actually, research institute, research laboratory. Kenkyu, Chinese compound, which means research, unaccented because the usual accent for those. When we add this jo with this suffix jo, it still is unaccented, so yeah, kenkyu jo. But yeah, we've seen that it's thanks to the this is Professor Rock's laboratory, as we have seen when we were in Pallet Town, Masara Town in Japanese. Then we have the particle ni, tu, as in two words in this case. Yeah, used with verbs of movement. Yeah, in this case, modorimasu, so from modoru. We've seen it before. It means to return, to go back. Accented. U verb become a verb, so yeah, we can change the u into e and then add mas to make the polyform. So yeah, here he's saying, well then, as for me, I'm going back, I'm returning to the research laboratory. Oh yeah. And yeah, funny enough, after that, yeah, we have sore de wa. Sore de wa, we have sore first, part of the consonant series, close to both the speaker and the listener, so far from the speaker, close to the listener, far from both. do the interrogative cause, so I usually an accented do, accent on do itself. So yeah, that, in this case, with the red, we get the demonstrative pronoun, so yeah, that, without anything after. As in, it isn't an adjective, so it doesn't modify a following noun. And yeah, in this case, after it, we have dewa, so as mentioned, the form of the copula, and the topic particle. So yeah, again, we have dewa, but yeah, before it literally explicited sore, so yeah, that. So yeah, as for that being the case, so I used as well, right now, so I actually used to end a conversation, like in our case here, or to introduce a remark. Yeah, so we have this sore, an accent, like as mentioned, most of the words in Koso are. So yeah, we keep the accent of the dewa. Technique, yeah, not mentioned here, but yeah, that should be the case. Yeah. So yeah, he's saying that, yeah, then he leaves. But yeah, that's not the end of it, and yeah, that's why we didn't check it last time, because if it stopped there, maybe we could have finished it. But yeah, no, there's also this part. Because it says, Tegami ga tsuiteru. First and foremost, we have Tegami. I don't remember. I think we might have seen it before. Don't remember if also in this series. It's a compound noun from te. Yeah, the te is the kanji for hand. We've already even studied it. Accented on its own te. Gami actually comes from kami. Kami, this one accent on the last mora, because it's the one which means paper. The one accent on the first mora, kami, means god, deity, and so on. Becomes voiced here because it's the second word part of a compound, and even more so is of strictly Japanese origins, and that more often than not happens to those, as we have seen. So this tegami becomes an accent, so be careful. Means literally hand, as in actually written, most certainly, paper, and so actually a letter or a note, we could say, but yeah, this is the fundamental word for letter in Japanese. Subject particle ga after it, and then we have the verb tsuiteru. Yeah, the usual tsuku, to be attached, sticked, applied to, and so on. Quite an important verb in Japanese. Not that tsuku we have studied, it's kanji, that one means to arrive at. As you can guess, actually, well, both accented, so could be that they are related, but yeah, now you distinguish between the two based on the kanji anyway. Verb go and verb, so to make that a form, we have to follow the rules. It's in ku, so it becomes ite. Again, we change the u into i, tsukite, but then the k fell, and so the i remained tsuite. Only the i remained tsuite. After it, we have ru, so actually a contraction of iru, to be as in to exist, of animate things and animals, so people, animate things, so people and animals, when used on its own, but after that the form of a verb, it means continuing action or state. So in this case, actually would be continuing state. Continuing action simply to be doing the action of the verb in te. Continuing state to have add the action of the verb, whatever the verb says. Yeah, in this case, the translation would be a letter has been attached. So yeah, despite the translation, technically, this would simply be the intransitive form of the verb tsuku. Tsukeru is the transitive one. We've seen that also a lot. And then we have the suspension dots because, yeah. Then after that, as soon as I continued it, okay. Then the suspension dots because it starts the contents of the letter. First and foremost, we have this reddo e. Reddo, the name of our protagonist. E written as he, as the particle. To. Technically, two words. We have seen the most typical usage is two words with a verb of movement. Yeah, it can actually be used also as can be seen here to specify the whoever a letter and so on is addressed, an email is addressed to. So yeah, to read. And then it says Gambatteru reddo ni running shoes o. First and foremost, we have Gambatteru, from Gambaru, another compound verb. We have already seen it before. I think also in this very series. The gun on its own means stubbornly, then in this case, Haru, unaccented on its own, can mean either to stick to paste to affix with a certain kanji, usually, especially with that one. With another one, the fundamental meaning is to stretch, to spread, and then several extended meanings. Despite the kanji used when writing it in kanji nowadays, I'd say it makes more sense to consider the meaning to stick to paste, because you literally to stick stubbornly. So you can see then why the meaning is to persevere, to persist, and so on, to do one's best. The usual Gambaru you most likely have heard some, apart from this channel, in anime, manga, video games, and so on. It's quite common considering its meaning. Becomes accented despite the accent of Haru, so be careful. And by the way, again, we have the change from Haru to Baru. So the voicing of the consonant, because again, it's the second word part of the compound. It's of strictly Japanese origin. Again, it's a verb going verb in ru, so becomes double consonant. And again, we had then ru, so contraction of iru, continuing action or state. Action, I say in this case, is doing his best. After it, we have a noun, so a verb in attributive position modifying the following noun. If it were a sentence, it would be, if it were, there were more than the verb, we would have a relative clause. Quite an important structure, this one, in Japanese. So read who is doing his best, or we could adapt it then, you, since it was read at the start, to read, but in Japanese we repeat it instead of using simply as you have seen, anata widely used in games when we have a generic U. The more typical usage in Japanese is using the name of the person. Like here. Then we have the particle ni, tu. We've seen which sense when we get to the verb. Running shoes, you can guess it based on the on the context. Running shoes, again, object particle o. Then it said, that's our other current series. After that we have presento. Presento, it's from English present. The accent, I think, actually should be the same as in English. Presento should be, but we'll check. Present in English. It's presento. Of course, we have as usual the usual additional vowels because the consonants, apart from n, which we can see here, can stay on their own. So we usually add u. For the T, we add o instead because adding u or i would change the sound. So no. Apart from what I guess are some older terms from English that came to Japanese, or maybe because they use the plural in that case, in some cases. For most now we will add o instead to keep the T sound. A noun, but we can turn it into a verb by adding the verb suru, to do, unaccented. To make, we have to adapt it in English, a present, to give as a gift, and so on. Last but not least, we have the final sentence particle wa. In standard Japanese, it's okay, but we didn't get okay. Is indicates emotion or admiration. It's a female term or language. I specified again standard Japanese because actually in Kansai dialect simply means indicates emphasis. So there's that distinction. So as we said, now we can see the meaning of ni as to, as in give as a present to someone. I'm giving as a present the running shoes to Red, so as to you, who are doing your best. So we translated that. Then it says first and foremost, technically, because they are separated, oen shiteiru wa yo. Oen, funny enough, I think I have mentioned it already because I mentioned that series of games on DS. Technically, Elite Beat Agents, which is the one that came outside of Japan, is part of it. But the original Japanese, the Japanese games are Os, Tatakae, O, and Dan. The second one, Moiron and Cats. Os, Tatakae, O, and Dan should be the full title. O and Dan comes from that. Because ON is a Chinese compound, as usual, unaccented. Yes, it's unaccented, which means Well, technically, its fundamental meaning would be support, which can be support as in straight up aid, assistance, or, like in our case here, support as in cheering, rooting for someone. And also in the example I mentioned of those games, yeah, we then had done there, which means group, which we've actually seen, I think, in this very series because of the Rocketto Dan, the Rocket, Team Rocket, literally Rocket, group, other various extended meanings, yeah, including gang, and so on, group more in general. So in that case, would of those games, it's cheering group. But yeah, Chinese compound, a noun, as usual for those, we can turn it into a verb by adding suru again. In this case, then, conjugated. Suru is completely irregular, so we have to remember that its continuative form is shi. And then luckily it works like root verbs and some verbs, as in which directly attach te. So ste, the is barely heard if at all because it's between voice consonants. And again we have iru, this time extended, not contracted. And then we have wa and yo, so wa as the females, to show again that it's a female term or language. Yo, you know, certainty, emphasis, and so on. So that is saying I'm cheering, rooting for, implied you. Literally, I am doing cheering, rooting for. And then after that, we simply have gambatte ne. Gambatte from gambaru again. We make the te form. It's in ru. It's a verb, verb. It's in ru, so it becomes double consonant te. Te form here at the end of the sentence. So it's actually as an implied kudasai. Kudasai, a verb of giving from kudasaru. Accented, to give, from a superior to an inferior. It uses the kanji, usually not written with kanji, but it would use the kanji for bottom, so top to bottom, the movement. Verb of giving after that, the form of a verb, so doing the favor, the meaning becomes do the favor of, doing the action of the verb in te. Kuasaru u verb, colon verb, but it's a peculiar one. Yeah, it's an honorific, respectful, specifically language. And when it comes to more than not just kudasaru but other honorific verbs, they make the continuative form not we technically replace the ru, drop the ru and then add i. Yeah, most likely again we change the u into i, kudasari, but then the r fell in this case, and so only the remained kudasai. And then implied, more often than not, in some expression is still present, masse, so again mass, so unsurprising then that we use the continuative form, as we have seen for mass in general. Masse in particular is the imperative form of mass. Notice the change of the u into e, like u verbs, colon verbs. Yeah, so. Although, yeah, let's consider that for now. There is more technically to it. But yeah, so literally an imperative form, so yeah, do the favor of doing the action of the verb intent. So then simply we can translate please do the action of the verb intent. So in this case, please do your best. Hang on, or however, hang in there, however you want to translate. Gambatte, gambaru in this case. Last but not least, we have also the final sentence particle ne, asking for confirmation or agreement. Right? Okay. So yeah, do your best, okay? Yeah, then last but not least, Mama Yori. So yeah, here we straight up see Mama from found also in English. Yeah, this one also considering that there aren't a doubling of consonants and so on. It's Mama from English specifically. Not Italian mamma with the doubling of the consonant. But yeah, it's mom, well, mommy, mom, well, specifically mama would be, it comes from that. Accented on the first ma, so same. And then we have, last but not least, this particle yori, which we should have seen before with the meaning then, used in comparisons. The other meaning is from. You could see technically both with then as an extended meaning, as in from this starting point of comparison, and then something else is whatever that adjective says, stronger, bigger, taller, whatever that adjective would be. Yeah, you could see it that way also to remember these two meanings of this particle, and most likely the reason why it's used with these two meanings. But yeah, here from, yeah, also used, as we can see here, for in letters again. So from mama, mama specifically. And yeah, so we have seen why there were the female term, the female term or language final sentence particles then. And yeah, that should be it. But yeah, as you have seen, it has taken us a while. I'd say it makes the most sense, considering that taking our usual break now. We'll be back in around 5 minutes, most likely slightly less, and then we'll actually start properly playing the game itself. So yeah, see you in around 5 minutes. And we are back. And yeah, so we can continue by properly starting playing the game. After checking that out. Yeah, here we have our usual in-game summary. We arrived at Pewter City. So notice that we are starting with this here. We left the Pewter City Museum. Won against Brock there. Yeah, we left then the gym. So there are two of for those. Yeah, last but not least, we wrote our report here. And yeah, we were, I think I saved, I actually moved last time. We were more or less on this very spot. Yeah, so we actually hadn't entered the new road, the new route. As we have seen on the top, in the top left corner, I'll actually show it again just so you, yeah, Samban Doro. But yeah, the usual structure we have seen for other routes. It's our third one, so yeah. And actually not the third one we have seen because we had the detour for the rival battle and the glimpse at the entrance of the Pokemon League. But yeah, we have Doro, which is the term for route. In Japanese, it's actually the term for road or highway, but yeah, more in general road. Chinese compound, but this is one of those accents on the first mora. The second most common accent for those. And then before it we have the number, and yeah, with the usual numeral plus counter combination. Ban number means, and before it, numerals of Chinese origin, except for the usual exceptions, usually yon, nana, especially yon, but also nana more often than not nowadays. I wanted to mention again the accent of ban. As we have seen, most of them, I wanted to find it, and I have already taken the physical dictionary for that reason. We've seen it, actually this one specifically already thanks to Super Mario World, as we had the numbers first, second, and so on with the ordinals there specifically, so with me. Luckily that becomes easier because with them we have the accent always on me. Oh yeah, no, with ban on its own, usually the rule is that the accent is before ban itself. So yeah, for example, Ichiban, Niban. Unfortunately, there are some exceptions which becomes unaccented, including this very one. So yeah, Sanban is unaccented, Yonban, Goban unaccented, Rokuban, Nanaban, Hachiban, Kyuban, Juban. So yeah, actually the exceptions are 3 and 5. And I wanted to mention them again, just as a reminder. And yeah, by the way, well, technically there is the alternative form Shiban with the Chinese numeral for the 7. More often than not nowadays we would use the Japanese numeral Nanaban. Well, yeah, for the 4 straight up, we use the strictly Japanese one to avoid the reading Shi, also shared by the kanji for that. But yeah. Now that we have reviewed that, since actually it was some time since we had mentioned it, and also considering that this is the very exception to the rule. Here, as you can see, it's just a way back down. But we have some trainers, or yeah, if it weren't clear by their setup, yeah, these are trainers. First, this one. She says, Ciotto, Kimi, first and foremost. Ciotto, the adverb we've already seen. With this to, actually, most certainly, an onomatopoeia, those with the to at the end, which is the quoting particle, and before it, the actual quotation technique. So, yeah, with a cho. The small su in that case would be simply the abrupt end, so a shortened glottal stop specifically, but then also becomes the doubling of the following consonant with the addition of to. With this sound cho, shortened, it means a little, slightly, as we have already seen. Also used so for a moment, briefly, and yeah, considering in a similar way, actually, related most likely to that. By the way, this is one Ciotto accent that I didn't mention it on the first mora, so on the cho itself. Unfortunately, other ones in this case we have seen are become unaccented, but yeah, this one accented. But yeah, by extension, consider that just a minute and so on is a hey, come on, excuse me. Yeah, for example, as mentioned by the dictionary, a typical way to say it is Ciotto soko no kimi. So yeah, we have the Ciotto as in, again, most likely actually, just a moment. And then, literally, you there, well, the order, of course, soko, that place, so then becomes there, more simply, part of the Kosodo series. Possessive particle no, kimi. Here, straight up, we have only Ciotto and then kimi. Kimi is a second person singular pronoun, so you in the singular. This one is familiar language, referring to someone of equal or lower status. Also more casual, unaccented, by the way, kimi. You, we could say, also imply the there. Wait a moment, just a moment, just a minute. And then she says, Ima watashi no ho mita desho. Funny enough, that is not the case based on how we came in. Well, of course, they expected you to come from the front, so yeah, in that case, it would make sense. Because, yeah, here she's saying Ima first. We have most certainly the one accent on the first mora, because the one accent on ma means living room, so it doesn't make sense. This one means now, or also just now. Better the second one in this case. Watashi, again, possessive particle no, so actually instead of I, of me, so my. Then we have a ho, yeah, we have seen it before. In this case, simply direction, way, accented on, yeah, accented, so I shouldn't have to specify because, yeah, the U is actually simply the longer vowel for the O. O-U becomes long O in contemporary Japanese, and the accent can stay on the longer vowel. And then she says Mita. From miru to see to look at to watch. Root verb is and verb, so yeah, we can simply drop the ru, go to the form to add the ta, past form of the verb. And then after that we have the sho, shortened, because usually it would be the sho with an additional u, so actually a longer o. As we have seen, the usages of the sho, which is the polite form of this form of the copula, technically, notice the de, or in its plain form, daro, notice the da in that case. It's the dubitative, conjectural, however you want to call it. And so I wonder, and so on. But has also another usage, which means right, don't you agree? So yeah, actually the person is pretty sure about that whatever has been said, and they simply want the other person to agree with them. As we have seen, the accent differs between the two. We have seen it. Okay, it should be with the accent on the ro kept and the sho with this second meaning. If I recall correctly, but I'll check it again. We have mentioned it after I had checked before, but yeah, that should be the case. With unaccented verbs, in the other case, when the ro, the sho isn't accented, we accent the final mora of the verb, so yeah, kau, the sho. I might buy, or kau, the sho. I think I will buy, as in, but yeah, regardless, yeah, it's clearly this usage in this case. So, she's saying, just now you looked in my direction, didn't you? Okay, we can start this battle. And yeah, we have a new trainer class called Miniscato. So yeah, because they wear mini skirts from English. And funny enough, there's also the reference to. It's also mentioned the scato in the opening of the first opening of the Pokémon anime in Japanese. Because apparently Pokémon can be found also there, but yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, Miniscato, miniskirt from English. Mini on its own would be technically accented, like in English on the mi. Scato on its own, notice also the U, barely heard it at all of the su, because it's depending on voice consonants as usual. Accent on the ka is expected, just like in English. Skirt, scato, there's also the usual change because Japanese doesn't have the sound so it becomes a because it's vowel and also long, just like actually in English bird. Also when even more so in the case of English varieties without the R sounds. And when combined, miniscato, yeah, we keep the accent of skirt. So another example of that rule, or at least some tendency. Then we have the possessive particle no, as we have already seen, because yeah, this is the typical structure. Trainer class, possessive particle, given name of the person, Harry in this case, and then subject particle, the rest we have already seen, has challenged you, has come to challenge you to a match, a Pokemon battle. Okay. She has a PG first and foremost. Oof, not the best. I didn't want to keep with or regardless considering the level. We'll send our good old Pikachu. Perfect for PG. Okay, we have these. Okay, I don't think I got it, so let me take that. Okay. Oh yeah, we have this move, which I don't think we have seen before. Kaze Okoshi, called. Should be... okay, I think I actually didn't need to take 10. It was... I didn't look at it properly, but then I realized what is following is, so yeah, that doesn't matter. But yeah, this the name of this move is Kaze Okoshi, as mentioned. Of course, not found in the dictionary as is. It's a compound from Kaze, first and foremost, which means wind. Should be unaccented, if I recall correct, it is. Wind, then also breeze, draft, and so on. As extended meanings, including written although with two kanji, not just the kanji, which there's the kanji of wind, which we'll eventually study, but with an additional kanji, while keeping still this reading, it becomes the meaning cold, but we'll see that better when the time comes for it. But yeah, there are extended meanings. Another typical reading meaning, although in that case more often than not actually you would use the Chinese reading of the kanji, is manner, way, style, and so on. Yeah, kaze, more often than not, simply wind. Yeah, so also in this case. And then we have this okoshi from okosu, I think accented, is a verb, which means to raise up, to set up, to pick up. By extension also to wake up. By extension also from to raise, to cause, to bring about, and so on. In our case, it's clearly in this sense. Or you could literally say physically to raise attack. Well, kind of. But yeah, so U verb con verb. We can change the U into I to make the corresponding noun. Okoshi. I wonder if I can find it just to confirm it, but it should follow the usual rules. So the verb accented, as we mentioned. Yeah, no, can't find it. There's another one. But yeah, should be accented on the last word. As okay, no, actually I found it there. Yeah, okay. Can confirm it's accented on the last word as per usual. So I literally causing or raising wind. And yeah, it's actually, as we have seen also by the animation, it's should be gust in English. TP. The fundamental, the basic attacking flying move. So yeah, actually considering that, yeah, it simply says it's not very effective here, so we don't need to check that again. Okay, I can start attacking with Pikachu. Wanted Pikachu because it's super effective in our case. Got paralyzed again, although that we have seen before. What we haven't seen, which might, yeah, it's this perfect. What it says when Pokemon is paralyzed and can move. I don't remember the exact words in English, to be honest. Consider that while I've seen a lot, and I think I've also played sometimes Pokemon games in English, I've at the very least watched it a lot, played by others and so on. I'm also, personally, I've played them in Italian also a lot, so yeah. But yeah, here it says Aite no Poppo wa Kara ga Shibirete Ugo Kanai. Nothing in particular. A lot of terms we have already seen. Well, all terms actually we have already seen, but let's explain it. Aite, the usual opponent in the context here of Pokemon battles, it can be simply companion or other party, and then by extension opponent. Aite accented technically on the last Mora, but with the following particle no, because it's the rule of the particle, the possessive particle no, it becomes an accent, so yeah, Aite no. Poppo, the name of the Pokemon, PG in Japanese, topic particle wa, Karada, we have already seen it, or at the very least I've mentioned it also in this series thanks to the whole matter of Tayatari tackle. Karada means is an accented, means body. It's a fundamental word nowadays used in Japanese when saying body on its own. Subject particle ga. Shibirete from Shibireru. This one we have definitely seen in this series because it means to become numb. Technically to get an electric shock, to tingle, and so on. But yeah, it uses, by the way, also the Senkanji found in Mahi, which we can see also on screen under Poppo's name in the top left, which means Mahi paralysis. So yeah, you can see paralysis or also numbness. Better technically to become numb. Despite the English translation, this one makes more sense technically. And also related in Shibireru with the electric shock. So yeah. Shibireru, by the way, accented, yes. Ru verb with some verb, so we can drop the ru, make the conjugative form, then to add the particle te. Here in its most its fundamental usage, which is, well, its basic usage, which is do the action of the verb in te and the rest of the sentence, or by doing the action of the verb in te while doing the action of the verb in te. We could also say in simply the ing form in certain cases of the verb. In this case, we could say being his, her, actually, it's a female page here, body, nam. But yeah, regardless, it connects it to the following verb. Continues the sentence. Yeah, we have ugokenai from ugoku, to move. Don't remember if we have straight up seen it in could be thanks to this whole matter of paralysis as the status condition in this game. Regardless, accented, it means to move. By extension, also to operate, to run. But yeah, here, to move. Verb and verb, we can change the U into E. And then add ru, can be seen here because of further conjugation to make the potential form of the verb again. Can move. Potential form is a ru verb, it's a verb, so we can drop the ru to make the not yet state irrealis form, we could say negative base of the verb, simply nowadays in the modern contemporary Japanese, yeah, more often than not it's simply used to then add nai, the adjective which means non-existent, used to make the negative form of verbs in plain speech. So yeah, cannot move, can't move. Yeah, the translation, so here is simply as for the opponent PG, her body is nam, as we have said for the meaning for has become nam, better, and so, better, and so can't move, cannot move. Oh yeah, with that we can continue. I am glad we finally got to see that. Yeah, here we defeat the PG. Some experience, not a lot, despite being a level 9. Okay, after that we have also another PG there. I'm worried about Pikachu because kind of low on health there. Okay, but if I keep... it's really risky to keep Weedle here. Unfortunately, all my higher level Pokemon, apart from Pikachu, but it's hurting, are weak to flying. So honestly, I'll try a mirror match here. Not the best considering that I have... okay, actually I think I might have seen a certain something there. I was skipping it. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's this. Because being the third gen games, we also have abilities part of the mix. And yeah, here that came into play, because yeah, here it says the opponent PG tried to lower my accuracy with by throwing sand, sunakake in Japanese. Actually, you can straight up see it again here. Yeah, sunakake. As we have already mentioned, like forgetting the exact name of the move in English. But yeah, here then it says Popo wa surudo ime de me churitsu ga sagaranai. Poppo, again, topic particle wa, cioè our Poppo. Notice the lack of aiteno, which is the typical term found for the opponent Pokemon in Pokemon games, as already mentioned. Then we have Surudoi Me, which is the name of the ability. Surudoi, first and foremost, is a E adjective, which means sharp. Yeah, also straight up as sharp of knives, claws, and so on, pointed. But yeah, then by extension, sharp can be pain, tone, and so on. But yeah, also sharp, as we'll see in a second, me, so I. And yeah, after it, we have a straight up me. We have even studied this kanji, means I, accent on the accented. So yeah, sharp I is the name of the ability in Japanese. I think in English could be. No, I don't remember it exactly. Then we have the particle de, with, in this case, let's say, simply. Or it could be the form of the copula, so yeah, being, as in having this ability. No, I'd say it's more likely simply with, well, no, actually, better maybe the form of the copula, because this de with the particle de with means as in the means, which could apply technically, but yeah, maybe better the other way. After that, we have Meichu Ritsu, which we have already seen, is the accuracy rating. Want to just check again its accent. It is okay. I can find it there. I have to take the physical dictionary now. That I have to review. Got the other physical dictionary, yeah, the one with the suffixes. With Ritsu, I think before Ritsu itself, but I wanted to check it. Yeah, okay, it's before Ritsu itself. Ritsu is the one that means rate, ratio, proportion, percentage. Also on its own, accented on the ri when on its own. But yeah, as a suffix, the accent is before Ritsu itself. So in our case, Meichu Ritsu. Not on the U because it's the longer vowel, as already mentioned, so on the chu. Meichu Ritsu. Accuracy rate, subject particle ga. Sagaranai from Sagaru. This one we have even studied its kanji. Again, it's the kanji for bottom. Yeah, with this reading, it means to come down, to come, to go down, to fall, to drop, and so on. Extended meanings also, but yeah, this is the fundamental one. Accented. U verb go and verb, so we can change the U into A. And again, to add then the negative base, to add then I, make the negative form. So here is saying that as for Poppo, being or with technically a sharp I, so with the name of the ability, the accuracy rate doesn't drop. Oh yeah, we have seen this. Perfect. Okay, even better if it kept using that, considering that, but yeah, I have serious doubts. We got a critical. Okay, now we are fine considering that. Oh well, yeah, I actually said it too early, potentially. I risk it. Okay, we were more or less actually the same speed as you have seen, despite being one level lower. Yeah, luckily I acted first. This time actually we don't increased its level, nice. We won against this girl. And yeah, after that she says simply Mo yeah. Already, as we have seen for Mo, accent on the accented in the games. So on the Mo, the U is simply the longer O, Mo, and then yeah. And yeah, as in yeah means accented on the last more, so the yeah. Disliking, not wanting, unpleasant, horrible, and so on. Also used as an exclamation, as in quit it, stop, no. Oh yeah. And no, here she's saying yeah, no. It's already bad, we could say, by adapting it unpleasant, undesirable, unwelcome. Or actually could be that more yeah, as in stop it already, technically. Let's see what she has to say after the master. Funny enough, we weren't actually doing it. Again, we came from below. She's saying 00 Miro kara Tatakao koton ni naru no yo. Yeah, first and foremost we have 00. I don't know, Matopeia, as you might have guessed, considering the doubling of the repetition. And so should be accent on the first mora, but I'll check. Yes, it is, as usual, for those. Yeah, it means staringly, scrutinizing. And yeah, used usually in combination with the verb miru, to see, to look at, to watch. Then we have the kara here as a conjunction, which means because. Then we have the verb tatakau. An accent means to fight, to battle in the context of Pokemon. After it, koto. So technically, attributive verb in attributive position, relative close technically, if you consider also the... well, no, because technically that's separate, so yeah, in this case simply verb in attributive position. But regardless, yeah, koto, thing as in matter, also a nominalizer for verbs. Accent on the last mora, so yeah, koto. And so in this case it should be heard because of the following. Ni, koto ni. On its own, words accent on the last mora would sound the same as an accented words. And not here. Ni, which is required by the following. Naru. Literal, naru means to become accented. So yeah, with the particle ni, into. Specifically, when we have a verb plus koto ni naru, it means, literally, it becomes the fact that, and so actually when something has been decided by someone else, something happens not because out of our control, and so on. And after that we have the no after naru, another nominalizer for verbs, fingers in fact, also used technically as a final sentence particle, and I suspect it's considered that in this case. By everyone, it depends on the with a falling tone, confident conclusion, the rising tone, question as a replacement of the usual interrogative particle ka. Can also be used to indicate emotional emphasis. So actually, simply female thermal language used by female characters in games and so on. Well, in this case, could simply be confident conclusion in a way, or both technically. Last but not least, we have then to further you know. So she's saying because technically, considering what she has said before, you look staringly it becomes so that you fight. By adapting, we could say you have to fight, but yeah, it's the usual. It's funny, weird considering that we came from the bottom. But yeah, it's actually the usual matter of when a trainer sees you in Pokemon games. Battle starts. Okay, with that, first and foremost, I actually show. I hadn't shown them yet. Yeah, by pressing B, now we can run. Perfect. We'll heal. I really need to heal. Technically, I have several potions, but we really need to heal a lot. And by the way, here I'm pressing B, but it doesn't work. I'm not running, as you can see. It was all that matter we have seen for the running shoes in the explanation. We should be able to tackle at the very least one more, if not two, trainers. So let's continue. Route 3. Route 3. We have one here and one there. Technically, the one there, the second one can be avoided, but we'll want to challenge them all to see also what they say, and also to train our Pokemon that we really need it. Actually, this one says omae, not with that small tsu, actually written in katakana, funny enough, despite the a being in hiragana. Simply like in English, but shortened here. Omae, another second person singular pronoun, you, in the singular. This one, familiar language, male thermal language. Formerly honorific, as can be seen with the honorific prefix o, but now actually very informal. Unaccented, by the way, omae. You. And then it says, Tokiwa no mori de mikaketa zo. Tokiwa, here actually Tokiwa no mori, Viridian Forest, we have already seen it. We went through it. Then we have the particle de inet, in this case. Mikaketa, from Mikakeru, compound verb, miru as usual, the first mi, drop the ru, conjugative form, then to add the kakeru. Kakeru on its own means to hang. Several extended meanings. By combining these two verbs, we have the meaning to happen to see, to catch sight of, to notice. Despite the accent of Kakeru, which is accented, this compound becomes unaccented, so be careful. Both Kakeru and so also Mikakeru, root verbs, and verbs, and so as usual, drop the ru and then ta. Final sentence particle, so adds force, may term of language again. Force as actually, I'd say, technically, emphasis. So he's saying that to us. Pretty sure we haven't seen it is, although a new trainer, don't remember his name, and pretty sure that's intended to be like that, as it said. With him saying that he happened to see us, we haven't straight up met. The usual insect catching boy, the trainer class, bug catcher in English. Okay, we have a Caterpie. Of course we'll change Pokemon. I don't think we have still learned. Okay, no, we haven't. So between everything, I send Bulbasaur for now. I really need to further level up PG to learn Gast. The Kaze Okoshi, as we have seen today, move. Just to be on the safe side, I'll use this. Potentially here. Hello Ken, nice to see you here. Okay, Glad went for that just to be sure to kill our Pokemon in case it starts attacking us. Hasn't done so yet, but better be safe than sorry. Especially considering that this trainer has 2 more Pokemon. We'll continue. Now it's starting. We continue using Tackle. And I went with Bulbasaur because of Tackle and also the higher level. Perfect. Now we haven't lost health with Bulbasaur this way. I also got there a critical, pretty sure there. Okay, now that we have that as the next Pokemon, we will try. Well, I send our Weedle, but I think this one will be. It's level 10 as expected, like the other Caterpie. So we have it still doesn't work well for us. I send again Bulbasaur for now. Especially considering the risk of poison, as we have seen. I still heal Bulbasaur. Okay, actually, that I don't think we have seen before. We'll quickly check it. Unfortunately, this happened. Aite no Bidor wa Kogeki o Kawashita. And yet we have the usual opponent, Beetle, in this case Weedle, topic particle wa. Kogeki, attack, Chinese compound, unaccented, like most of those. And a noun, so yeah, after it we have the object particle o. And then we have this verb, kawashita, so yeah, from kawasu, not the typical one, because kawasu, there's another one, which is a more common word, unaccented, which means to exchange, notice the similarity with kaeru, or better kau, technically, originally, because although it's a different kanji, its reading, some of its readings that it has more than once are this kau, which is the original verb clearly. Also an accent should be then, which means to pass each other, to mingle together also. Okay, no, actually that one is accent, cow. Although usually used as a suffix that. This one, kawasu. So even more so actually more related this one to kairu with the different kanji, to change, to exchange, and so on. Because this one means to exchange, as in actually messages, greetings, and so on. That's the more common word. But doesn't make sense in this case. But there's another kawasu, which means, with a different kanji technically, usually written with kana alone nowadays though, so more convenient, which means to dodge, to evade, to avoid. U verb and verb, so we can change the U into I to make the conjugative form, and then add ta. No changes for, despite being a U verb and verb, when it's in su, there aren't particular changes. So here is saying, the opponent be Weedle avoided the attack, so we got unlucky there. Even more so considering that I really wanted to use this to potentially heal. We'll see if the other Pokemon is just a Caterpie. We can try to send a different Pokemon for the last one. But we'll see. With Weedle, definitely I didn't want to risk the poison. Okay. Perfect. One last hit and we should be perfect. Didn't attack us, so our Bulbasaur should keep his health. Perfect. Got some experience. Another Caterpie, so okay, for a change I'll actually send PG immediately. Because by replacing I send in first Widow and then PG will take a hit. And it's pretty risky considering the difference in level. Well, we might have been fine regardless, but I'd rather not risk it. I noticed how much it does to us, despite us having same type attack bonus, because PG is normal flying, while Caterpie is bug. So really didn't want to risk it. And also with that, increase cat to level 9. And finally, our PG then learned Kazeokoshi. Cast should be the English name. And yeah, then simply he says Kuyashi Kedo Maketa. Kuyashi is adjective, which means frustrating. Frustrating, or better, usually that someone is frustrated about something, over a failure, and so on. Disappointed, accented. After it we have Kedo, on its own technically accented on the first moral. A conjunction, which means but. And then we have the verb maketa, or makeru, to lose, to be defeated, and so on, various similar extended meanings. But yeah, fundamental one, to lose. Unaccented. Yeah, verb is and verb, so yeah, you can drop the ru, contractive form to add then ta, make the ta form of the verb past form. So it's saying it's frustrating, but I lost. Get our prize money. Let's see what he has to say. Okay. He says, Kono atari wa. And then I'll actually continue the message and read and translate the rest. Yeah, first and foremost we have kono, these, here with the nod to demonstrative adjective, so yeah, these something, unaccented kono. Something which is atari, which means vicinity, surroundings, and so also neighborhood. Accent actually on the first moral, atari. Unlike the other atari, an accent which comes from the verb ataru. Several meanings, that one, but let's focus on this one. So yeah, this vicinity, these surroundings, this neighborhood. Topic particle 1. Then we have Morito wa Mata chigatta Pokémon ga toreru nda. First we have Mori again, so yeah, forest. You have seen for the Viridian forest. He mentioned already. Or forest technically in general. As you have seen, there are the forest Pokemon as the category in the Pokédex. An accent Mori. Towa. In this case, we have the to, which is with. Here, technically, as in compared to. As we see, also based on the meaning. And yeah, after it, we simply have the topic particle again, wa. In this case, technically, to add more emphasis, make it more emphatic, simply to. Mata, technically, we study its kanji, even though nowadays it's used without it. Again, also to. And other meanings we'll see better technically. The best translation depending also on the rest. After it we have Chigatta from Chigau. Should be an accent if I recall correctly, but we'll check. to differ. To be different technically, but yeah, it's a verb, so yeah, to differ would be closer to the Japanese to be distinct and so on. We've seen it before, but yeah, an accent, yes. Verb and verb, it's in U straight up as the final kana. Yeah, we have to follow the rules. Being in U, it was originally actually in Pu in classical Japanese. So we changed the U into I, Chigapi ta, but then the if Chigap ta, difficult to pronounce again, double consonant ta. After it, a noun, so relative close, or verb in attributive position, but here technically we have also the mata before it, and also the morito wa technically. Better mata chikata on its own. But yeah, Pokémon, subject particle ga, Toreru, and yeah, from Toru again, to take, then to catch by extension, especially in Pokemon games here. We can change the U into E and then Ru to make the potential form. And by the way, notice that yeah, we have the object, what would be usually the object of the verb becomes the subject, because that's the rule, the classical way to say it in with potential forms of verbs. Nowadays, as we have seen, you can also simply use the object particle anyway. Yeah, because technically it would be Pokemon. But yeah. Last but not least, da, again, yeah, no, already mentioned, thing is in fact, copula da, and yeah, it's the usual expression, it is that, the fact is that, the explanation is that, and so on. So yeah, it says that as for around here, in this vicinity, it's possible to catch Pokemon that are technically again, as in once more different compared to so yeah, to wa to in that sense with the forest compared yeah, in English let's say adapt it like this, we have to adapt it that way. Okay, yeah, we don't have much time left, so honestly I could oh, okay, yeah. They actually got me. We'll actually tackle one more battle here. She says, Kimi no sen. Kimi again, you with the possessive particle your, of you, so yeah, your. Shisen, actually the she should be barely heard if at all, because it's between a voice consonant. The Chinese compound, unaccented, like most of those. It means line of sight. Yeah, sight is the she, sen is line, so yeah, sight line technically, but yeah, no. One's gaze, then, and so on. Yeah, literally, line of sight in Japanese. Suspension dots, so yeah, your gaze, but better to translate it here. Suspension dots. Then she says, Nanka Kininaru. Nanka, as you have seen from Nani, interrogative pronoun, which means what. With the addition of ka, when we keep it like without the contraction, nanika, something simply by adding the interrogative particle ka, we get the corresponding some word, considering that, yeah, technically some words in English are something that is unspecified, so because of that. Here with this, then contracted, the long vowel is an addition here for the effect, because she's how she pronounces it for emphasis. It's more something like, things like, and so on. Somewhat better in this case, because as we see, it's more as an adverb here. And then we have this kininaru. It's actually an expression. The ki is not the one accented that we have studied for 3. It's the unaccented one, which means spirit, mind, various extended meanings. Particle ni, again, because we have naru following, so yeah. It becomes literally ki. As in, actually, it either to weigh on one's mind, to worry about, or to catch one's eye. Better actually would be to catch one's curiosity. So yeah, to be interested, to be curious about. Yeah, so I'm curious. She's saying that she's somewhat curious about it. So yeah, do this fight here. Catch a Pokemon. Mina, she's called. Okay, Rattata here. I will try, although I have to see. Yeah, no. I wanted to try. Let's see. Okay, it worked out at least for this. I wanted to at the very least try to poison it. Though not that we particularly need it, because well, actually I was thinking of sending Mankey, but we could the Rattata is to Freya, our Rattata is send Pikachu. So we can train Pikachu instead then. I could have simply sent okay. Okay, never mind. Too bad that this way they won't get a lot of experience, but yeah, I'm sending then Mankey. Yeah, Mankey is the better choice here, considering the, well, apart from the higher level, there we got unlucky with the critical. Yeah, because of the fighting type move to which Rattata is weak. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, only 40 experience each. Okay, we have that on the other hand here. Yeah, I'll send someone else. Okay, not a Weedle in this case. First, I want to train somewhat also Rattata here. Second, I don't want to risk to get a certain something with Weedle. So we try and train him again another time. But yeah, I'm sending Bulbasaur. Definitely sending Bulbasaur here. Way too risky. I want to use these with simply try to go. Okay, no, this failed. Okay, now I'll try. Let's see how much. Yeah, no, too little. I actually use also this then. We definitely have to go back to heal all our team at the Pokemon Center. So I wasn't. I was trying not to use it because of that. But it's becoming way too risky, and it will make it actually faster by doing it this way. Especially considering that she's slowing our attack. technically, I showed that I could use this move, but it should... okay, it does slightly more, despite being not very effective, thanks to the stab, to the same type attack bonus. Bulbasaur is grass, poison, so yeah, because of that. Oh yeah, with that we've defeated Nidoran female. Get some experience. Nice Rattata gets to level 6. And yeah, then she's saying Motto Yasashiku Shobu Dekinai. Motto, as we've seen, suspiciously with that to at the end, could be originally actually an onomatopoeia. Nowadays, simply considering an adverb. Accent on the first more. More. Actually, now that I think about it, I've never seen it mentioned, but could technically be a contraction of mo we have seen with the long vowel, because that also means, as one of its meaning is further, more, with the addition of the topic particle and then also the contraction with the small tsu. So yeah, it could actually be related to that in this case. I haven't seen it straight up mentioned anywhere, but yeah, I have that suspicion. So yeah, in that case, it wouldn't be effectively an onomatopoeia. Then we have Yasashiku from Yasashi. Technically, there's another Yasashi, which means easy. Not particularly, not as used technically. This one is more typical. Yasashi with a different kanji. Both unaccented, and they are definitely most certainly related. It means gentle, tender, kind, and so on. But yeah, the fundamental meaning technically gentle. Here we drop the E, add the Q to make the corresponding adverb. So yeah, gently. Shobu. Shobu, we have seen the Chinese compound, accent on the first mora. Literally victory or defeat, but yeah, then by extension match, and so in the context of Pokemon games, battle. And then after it, a noun, you can turn it into a verb by adding suru, but in this case we have the kiru, which means to be able to do, and yeah, it's the replacement of the, instead of conjugating suru to make the potential form, we straight up replace it with the kiru, since it already has the meaning to be able to do. And then the kiru, verb verb, we can drop the ru to make the negative base and add the nai, negative form of the verb in plain speech. So yeah, this is a negative here used actually as in a request. Couldn't you, like in English, couldn't you fight more gently? Okay, yeah, we've seen this. Let's see how long. Okay, no, we'll check also this, and then we'll go back to here and save that. Yeah, here she says, after we speak to her again, Moshi tatakai taku nakattara shisei no awase nakereba ii no. Okay, this is actually pretty long. We'll check it again next time. Honestly, we shouldn't have challenged her anyway. Yeah, we'll check it. I'll go next to her then, so that we save there just to remember it. Okay, no, I was going to the gym there. yeah, we'll simply heal then here. And then go back there, just to, as a reminder, to speak to her first and foremost. And then, of course, then we will already be there to tackle also the other trainers. Okay, I'll do it like this so we can see both the two trainers at the bottom and her. Okay, like this actually. Not closer, but let's see. So it's clearer. I should remember, but a reminder is still wiser. Yeah, we can close the game. And yes, so today we've continued Pokémon FireRed. First and foremost, we checked out the what it said after getting the running shoes. Yeah, we definitely didn't have the time for that last time. And then finally started Route 3. Yeah, we've barely started it, but next time, which will be on Friday as usual, unless plans change. On Wednesday, we'll have the other Let's Learn Japanese with series, currently Star Fox. Yeah, we'll first check what she was saying after defeating her, and then start tackling the other trainers as well, and so continue the route. And yeah, see you next time.